Hello there and welcome. We're diving straight into an incredibly important briefing put together for you by the experts over at Advantax Accountants in London. Now, if you're living in the UK but have any kind of financial connection abroad, you are absolutely going to want to hear this. We're about to break down one of the biggest shakeups to the UK tax system in more than 100 years. Getting your head around this now is absolutely crucial, so let's get right into it.
So, let me ask you a quick question. Do you own a holiday home somewhere sunny, get dividends from a company overseas, or maybe you just have a bank account outside of the UK? If you answered yes to any of that, then you really need to listen up. The rules are about to change in a big way, and honestly, what you don't know could end up costing you.
The team at Advantax has been helping clients navigate the, let's face it, complex world of UK tax for years. They've really drilled down into what these new rules are going to mean for people just like you. So you might be asking, why is this so urgent all of a sudden?
Well, it's because a tax system that's been in place for over 100 years is being thrown out completely. I'm not kidding. A framework that's been around for a century is being replaced, and the new rules go live in April 2025. This really is a once-in-a-generation shift.
This is a massive tax shakeup. Starting April 6, 2025, the way the UK looks at foreign income and gains is going to be fundamentally different. And I want to be clear, this isn't some small adjustment, it's a total rewrite of the rulebook for anyone with a financial life beyond the UK's borders.
You see, the old system was called the remittance basis. In simple terms, you were usually only taxed on foreign money if you actually brought it into the UK. The new residence basis is way more direct. Now, if you're a UK resident, you're going to be taxed on your income from all over the world as you earn it. It doesn't matter where you keep the cash.
And that's the single biggest takeaway. From April 2025, your foreign income, your foreign gains, they're all taxed right here in the UK the moment they arise. For most people who've lived here a while, that old option of keeping money offshore to delay tax is pretty much gone.
To make this super clear, let's take Sarah from Manchester. She has a lovely rental villa in Portugal that brings in about £10,000 a year. Under the new rules, that 10 grand isn't a separate thing anymore. It gets piled directly on top of her UK salary, and the whole lot is taxed under UK rules. You can see how that's a total game changer, right?
Yep, that foreign income now stacks right on top of your UK salary. And for a lot of people, that little bit extra could be enough to bump them up from the 20% basic tax rate into the 40% higher rate, or maybe even the 45% additional rate. Your tax bill could seriously jump. Okay, but it's not all bad news. Not at all. Actually, for anyone new to the UK, there's a fantastic opportunity. The government has created a kind of lifeline for people moving here or maybe returning after a long time away. It's called the Foreign Income and Gains Regime, or FIG for short. And if you qualify, it is incredibly powerful. Here's the headline. The FIG regime gives you a 4-year, tax-free window. That's right. If you're a new UK resident and you meet the criteria, for your first 4 years here, you can earn foreign income and make foreign gains without paying a single penny of UK tax on them. This is a huge incentive.
So how do you get it? Well, it's basically a 3-step deal. First, you need to have been non-UK resident for at least 10 straight years before you move here. That's the big one. Second, you obviously become a UK resident. And third, you have to actively claim this relief within your first 4 years. Now, here's a pro tip from the team at Advantax, and you'll want to write this down. You have to claim this on your tax return. It doesn't just happen automatically. And here's the catch. When you claim it, you give up your tax-free personal allowance. That's £12,570 for the 2025-26 tax year, and your capital gains exemption of £3,000 for that year. So you've got to do the sums, but for anyone with decent foreign income, it's almost always a no-brainer. Okay, now for everyone who already lives in the UK, please listen very closely. These next 2 points are for you. The government knows this is a big adjustment, so they've opened what you could call a golden window of opportunity with some one-off reliefs to help people adapt. Stay with me, this part could save you a lot of money. There are 2 major opportunities on the table. First is a limited time deal to bring your money back home at a very low tax rate. It's called the Temporary Repatriation Facility, or TRF. The second is an option called capital gains tax rebasing, which could be a huge help when you sell an asset. Let's dig into these. The Temporary Repatriation Facility is a very time-sensitive offer. It's only a 3-year window, kicking off in the 2025/26 tax year. After the 2027/28 tax year finishes, this opportunity is gone forever.
So, what does it actually do? The TRF lets you bring previously untaxed foreign income and gains into the UK at a flat, massively discounted tax rate. For the first 2 years, that's the 25-26 and 26-27 tax years, the rate is an amazing 12%. It then goes up to 15% for the final year. This is a brilliant chance to bring those historic offshore funds back home without getting hit by your normal tax rate.
The second opportunity is CGT rebasing. Now, this one is for anyone who's owned a foreign asset since before April 2017. It basically lets you hit a reset button. You can choose to change the cost of that asset to whatever it was worth on April 5th, 2017. And why is that great? Because when you eventually sell, you only pay tax on the profit made since that date, not on all the growth from when you first bought it. It could slash your tax bill. And here's a little did you know for you that makes this even more important. The annual tax-free amount you can make from capital gains is now only £3,000. It used to be over 12 grand. With such a tiny allowance, any tool you have to reduce your taxable gain, like this rebasing option, becomes incredibly valuable.
Okay, wow. We have covered a lot of ground. We've looked at the problem, the new rules, and some of the amazing opportunities. Now, let's pull all this information together into a simple, clear action plan. This is what you need to be thinking about next.
First things first, you need to identify and make a list of all your foreign assets and your sources of income. Get it all down in one place. Second, if you're new to the UK or planning on coming back, check if you're eligible for that 4-year FIG regime. Third, if you're already here, you have to look at the TRF and CGT rebasing opportunities right away. Fourth, start pulling together your documents, bank statements, purchase contracts, you name it. And finally, and this is without a doubt the most important step, you need to get professional advice. Look, the best course of action really depends on your personal situation. If you're a new resident, your top priority is probably claiming the FIG regime. If you're a long-term resident, it's all about looking at the TRF and rebasing. Knowing which camp you're in is the very first step to figuring out the right strategy. Now, before we wrap up, it's really important that I make this clear. Everything we've talked about today is for general guidance and for your information. It is absolutely not a substitute for professional, personalized advice that is tailored to your unique financial situation.
To really navigate these changes and make sure you're doing the best thing for your finances, you really must talk to an expert. The team at Advantax Accountants is ready to help you make sense of all this and plan ahead. You can reach them directly on WhatsApp or by phone at 079-85-689-912. Or you can pop an email over to najam.saqib@advantaxaccountants.co.uk. Please, don't put this off. The clock is already ticking. And so, I'll leave you with one final, really important question to think about. Are your foreign assets and your income streams set up correctly for this brand new tax world we're entering? If you're not 100% sure, now is the perfect time